earlier actions were reckless, Raiden. Not to mention the damage to a perfectly good car.
I knew the risks when I decided to go through with this. Besides, the car was mine. Maverick sold it to me. It's not meant for private use. It was made for ops like this.
Regardless, your approach has proven most antagonistic. You are now a criminal, a public enemy, a police-killing vigilante. Even if
Yeah,
your
sounds pretty
actions
cool to
reveal
me.
World Marshal's designs, you will be unable to avoid legal punishment.
Probably not. But that's a price I'll have to pay. I gotta stop that VR program and get those kids back. I sealed my fate the second I attacked George.
But George is not dead. In fact, he has obtained an even more versatile body than his previous one.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about me. I was a child soldier in Liberia, like Miss Trawl said. I was a mentally deranged child. People feared me, called me Jack the Ripper.
A result of the so-called Sears program.
I thought I left it all in the past. But just like that, Jack came roaring back.
This is why you are so driven to terminate the VR training. I understand. I will continue to cooperate.
So there's a lot of good characterization and references. A lot of it's told through the codec, and it would be a little less forgivable if the cutscenes that were there weren't also awesome. But man, if you don't go through the codec calls, you miss out on a lot.
Setting goal markers on your Soliton radar.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Use them to follow me through this area.
Good boy.
I will ignore the condescension and take that as a compliment. You are welcome.
I love that the straight man of this game is a talking robot dog.
Wolf? You're a one-of-a-kind prototype.
Hey, we already got this one.
What's
Brute, I am.
So I guess he's looped back.
I trust you do not mind my telling George about you, Raiden.
Could have done without that, Doc. He didn't need to know I was here.
Well, there was no reason to conceal that from him. My intention was not to impugn you. He has a right to know. It's not as if he can simply fly over there and meddle in your affairs.
I did give him
It's
rocket
throwing off
legs,
my
though. I
emotional
thought it would be
balance, Doc.
badass.
Things like that can negatively
So
impact the
theoretically
mission,
he
you
could.
know?
However do you mean? You did the right thing, did you not? There's nothing to be ashamed of. George has the best body we can give him right now. And the rest of the children are also safe. And quite content too, I should add. It was your quick decision-making that saved them, Raiden. George's body will require regular maintenance, not to mention a replacement upon reaching adult age. But the expense is more than worth it.
You planning on signing him up with a PMC? Because that's the only job we're good for, far as I can tell.
Oh, you are quite mistaken there.
So this is interesting, too,
Consider it.
again.
The power of a machine matched with the nimbleness and creativity
The way
of
they
humans.
talk about
The
how
construction and
cyborgs
public
are
work
just a part of
possibilities alone are
society in
endless.
Metal Gear at this
I saw
point.
a news piece on German TV just the other day about a cyborg
And their
plumber
place in
effect.
society. It's mostly
Let's not forget
manual
about elder
labor
care
and
either.
elderly
One needs
care,
great
things like that.
strength to bathe
But it's
and care
interesting
for
that
the
they
bedridden.
thought about that. A
But
lot
it's
of,
also very
again,
delicate work, if you follow.
Metal Gear Solid
And not
4
the sort of
didn't
thing you
think
leave
much
to a
about the
machine.
world it had
Sounds
created
great.
by that point
So
with
long
the
as we don't start
war
replacing
economy
the
and
old folks' bodies,
PMCs.
too,
This game
just
thinks
'cause they're
about
old.
the world it created with all the
A valid
cyborgs
concern,
and
yes.
such.
I recall reading a comic like that once.
Which comic was
An
that?
old farmer created a cybernetic body to fight evil
What
military
comic book is
scientists and
this,
so on.
Doctor?
Yeah. But can't George do anything besides physical labor, though?
Oh, he has every right to choose another path. If he opts not to take advantage of his body's physical strength, he's free to pursue academia instead. His body provides a completely ideal chemical environment for
His
brain
blood has been
afterwards.
replaced with
I can
Red
certainly
Bull.
see how that would prove handy in the realm of higher education. The only problem would be how to cover the costs. The issue of student loan debt in the U.S. is
Oh,
thorny
jeez,
enough
I
already,
forgot
even
about
for
that.
most
Hey, you want to talk about a
Yeah. All this
timely,
stuff's not just George's problem.
you know, a game
All
ahead
the
of
other
its
brains
time
of
with
the
its
rest will have to
messages.
deal with it too. Giving them bodies won't be the end of
Talking
their
about the
problems.
police
It'll
being
be the
overly
beginning.
militarized and student
Indeed.
loan debt. Oh,
On a
man.
happier note,
What? You mean that
excellent
was
work in bringing
also
George's lower body
problematic
back.
back in
Now he's
2013?
very
Oh,
likely
my
able to produce
God.
children in the future. Bravo.
Oh, yeah, we saved his lower body, too. So, you know.
I trust you're not still upset.
You know.
right?
About telling George about me? Look, let's just drop it, okay?
Gladly. I'm just glad I was able to assist you in operating the cryopreserver anyway.
I know, Doc.
Not that it's so difficult. With that type, you simply immerse the organs in the
So yeah, a lot of
artificial
stuff they
plasma
don't
inside.
show, they tell you in the
Yeah?
codex, and
I
it's
wouldn't think it was so easy to keep organs alive. How's it work anyway?
Oh, it's quite simple, really. It uses
it's
chilled
it's fine.
nanomachine-infused
It's fine
artificial
given that this
plasma.
game had such a
That suppresses the metabolism and
small
regulates the
development
oxygen
schedule
intake
and
of
such a
whatever you
low
store
budget.
inside.
I like that it's
The
at least
nanomachines
there.
are fully self-pumping. Once hemoglobin is detected in the local environment,
But boy,
they release a
these
flow
are
of
some
plasma
Metal
into the
Gear
organ where
ass
the body's original
codec
plasma
calls.
is
We're
still
talking
present.
about
And
hemoglobin
George's body
and
was inserted into the
nanomachine.
storage cabin.
Oh my
Artificial
god.
blood, chilled nearly to freezing point, automatically flowed in at the points of amputation. This dropped the internal temperature of the parts from 36 to 10 degrees centigrade.
10 degrees
The
centigrade.
result?
We're getting all
The
the
effective suppression
all of the
all
science
metabolic
here that
activity.
maybe makes some
The
sense.
plasma was also fine-tuned to keep the SpO2 level inside the organs at 90% or above. The synergetic effect of all this allowed the brain to reach the regenerative treatment facility quickly, before any cell tissue was damaged at least. A most effective device, I must say. A micro gas turbine engine enables it to operate completely autonomously as a standalone
Like,
unit.
do we need to know
Would have
this?
been
No,
tough
we
to
don't,
lug
but
over
it's
to the
awesome.
hospital otherwise.
Truly state-of-the-art indeed. I suspect it costs as much as a well-stocked emergency ambulance.
At the risk of speaking inappropriately, this group certainly knows how to use its budget.
Guess I should be glad these guys have got so much money to throw around. So how long can George use that medical body he's in right now?
Well, the body's full shelf life has yet to be proven, but with regular maintenance, I would imagine 10 years or more. However, this is also a child's model. It will need to be replaced as he grows mentally and emotionally. But things have come together pretty well overall.
Guess that's gonna be a problem, huh?
It will. Also, this is the only body of its type I could procure on such short notice. I'm afraid the other brains will have to make do with their VR
So this is
environment for now.
interesting, this stuff.
Yeah. It just doesn't feel right that George gets the only body, though.
Well, it was you who implored I do something for him, no? I assumed prioritizing him was called for.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, Doc. It was a pretty stressful moment.
We will have many more brains to watch over before long, I fear. Something I don't entirely mind, I should note. The more research subjects I have, the better. Still, some sort of decision regarding their long-term care shall have to be made soon. It will be some time before we're able to monetize any of this research, after all. As much as I might like to, I can't run this lab on good intentions alone.
Everyone's got to look out for their
Yeah.
bottom line in this
We need to
game.
come up with something and soon, for all our sakes.
We should be able to mass-produce child bodies in very short order, at least.
That's a
Quite
really
frank,
weird
I
sentence,
had a helicopter
Doctor.
crew on standby to bring the brains back here should the need arise. I, too, will be departing in a little while.
Much appreciated, Doc.
Consider it an angel investment. Who knows what sort of new business I may be soon pioneering here.
He's so, you know, his heart's in a good place, but he says some
question,
strange
Doc.
things.
Yes, right.
Doc, those kids, how are they feeling?
Oh, after the chloroform, you mean? No need to be concerned. Thanks to your quick actions, the effects have already dissipated.
Good to hear. Why the hell were they using chloroform? I thought they stopped using it as an anesthetic ages ago.
It's also not
Correct.
real.
Sevoflurane or isoflurane are the preferred inhalation anesthetics today. However, chloroform is still quite useful as an organic solvent. In certain doses, mind you. Otherwise, as that cretin mentioned, it can be a bit
Cretin.
dangerous.
It certainly turned out dangerous for him.
Wow, Raiden.
Yes.
Chill.
In any case, its properties make it useful for an assortment of applications. The chemical synthesis of medication, for example, or creating the coolant used in modern cryopreservers.
Fascinating.
Indeed. Well, Raiden, wonderful work. Had you waited any longer before breaking the glass, things might not have turned out as well as they did.
How's it going with the brain units, Doc? Any problems?
Oh, they could not be better. They're being kept at exactly 36 degrees Celsius.
They go
with a
way in
steady,
depth about what
uninterrupted
the
supply of oxygen and glucose.
what the children brains are
Synchronizing them with
doing.
our equipment posed some difficulty, but everything's perfectly
And
stable
some of it's
now.
pretty
That's good to
interesting.
hear. What kind of VR?
This part in particular I find
I've had
fascinating that
very
the
comfortable
writers
rooms for
thought
each
about
and
this.
everyone. It's not quite Schloss Neuschwanstein, but
Also,
each
yeah,
one
Schloss
enjoys the equivalent
Neuschwanstein
of a
reference.
four-star
Why?
hotel suite.
It's because
Every
it's a
room
German
includes an
castle,
attached
people
pool
know.
and an extensive library of on-demand video programming. 3 meals are delivered daily, and while we're only able to do so much vis-a-vis taste sensation, it should satisfy the psychological need for food.
Yeah, so they got all kinds of
Doesn't
stuff
sound
set
too
up.
bad. I wouldn't mind
Got a little-
VR training like that for a change.
Yeah, they got a little
Be my
VR
guest.
room with
I'd like to experience
Netflix
it for
and
myself,
food,
you know.
apparently.
But for now, it is available to cyborgs only. Exciting work is being done in the realm of invasive brain-machine interfaces. But there simply isn't much demand for it at the moment.
I guess not too many folks are willing to stick electrodes in their brains.
So
just
that's
for a
another
taste of
interesting
VR.
thing. I've talked about this
Perhaps,
before,
but the sense of
about
reality
my
is considerably
opinions with
improved over
VR
nanomachine-based
gaming, and
non-invasive
how I don't
methods.
think it's going to go
If
anywhere
prices were
because the
kept low
only
enough,
way
I
you
imagine
can
the video game industry
enhance
at least
the...
would clamor for it.
Yep,
Who
see?
coded the virtual hotel?
The only way you could really,
Very
like,
efficient. He used to write
improve
VR
upon what we
programs for
have
machines,
is
but now
invasive
specializes in
VR.
cyborg software.
And I mean, video
bit of a
games
niche
are
right
expensive
now,
enough
yes,
as
but
is,
when
man, and
brain-machine
medical
interfaces take
stuff.
off,
It's
it will be a
the
big
only way
business.
you could do it
The
would
children's
be some sort of
accommodation is a reworked
invasive
version of the original beta software he built. The room is
thing
3D modeled
that,
for
number
all
one, we
nations
haven't
free
developed the
library.
technology
It
for
couldn't
yet.
have been
Number two,
easier.
once we do, it'll be so
I
expensive
wish everyone
that there's
loved
no
their
way to
work as
turn a
much as
profit
you
on
do,
it.
Doc. They don't go
So
stir
yeah, I
crazy,
don't know. It's
though,
kind of fun
cooped
that
up
they
in their
talk about
rooms?
that a little bit.
There's little I can do about that. Creating an open world would take orders of
And
magnitude
yes,
more
look, you
resources.
can't make an open
What
world
about
VR
communication?
game for the children. It's too
Another
much
weak
work.
spot, yes. The NPCs available to us are all for
And they have
military training
NPCs they can
purposes.
talk. It's
It will
very
be some
funny. They
time
basically
until
are
we
in
see
like
VR characters capable of convincingly human interaction. Sadly, we're also not
They're
yet
just
able
stuck
to
in a
connect
game,
multiple
man.
brains to a single VR space. My assistants are operating virtual agents to give them a bare minimum of mental care. But our team is limited in size, and none of us are medical
they hadn't
professionals,
invented
you know.
VR chat
They
yet.
can't stay in there forever.
Yeah, so that's the most interesting stuff, that they've actually thought out what to do with the brains. And, you know, we're not just... Raiden didn't just rescue a pile of brains and then they're just on the floor. No, they have their own little VR rooms, and I think it's
Jesus,
interesting.
Raiden, this is a little over the top. I mean, I've seen you pull some shit before, but it...
You should know me better than that by now, Kev.
I thought I did. Look, I know there's no legal way to stop World Marshal, but there has got to be an alternative to going on a rampage smack dab in the center
I don't
of
know, it
Denver.
seems pretty cool so far.
No alternatives, Kev. I'm getting those kids out.
Raiden, that VR training, it's like what you did in Liberia?
Judging by what Sundowner said in Mexico, yeah. That scientist called it the Sears program.
After ex-President George Sears, a.k.a. Solidus Snake.
go, they said his
Yep. Ironic that kid shares his name.
And they spell that out too, in case you
Solidus
didn't
trained
get it.
child soldiers in Liberia while working as a CIA paramilitary. It's not a happy memory. All the drugs, the non-stop violence, it destroyed my sense of judgment completely. I was made to kill soldiers, POWs, civilians.
Raiden,
The next thing I know, Jack's back. I thought it was all in the past, but there I am, attacking a child.
you didn't have any other choice. Other kids would have died.
That's not the problem. I lost my cool back there. All I could do was think how much I wanted that guy dead.
A lot of us would have done the same.
Even if it meant killing George.
He's not dead, though. Actually, he really digs his new body.
Either way, I'm shutting this program down. Maybe they've got it better than me. They don't actually have to kill anyone in reality. But they're still going through the motions, having it pumped straight into their senses, just like real life.
All right. Just give me a call if there's anything I can do.
Sure. Riding out.
Oh, God, the codecs are so worth it in this game, man. They are so worth it. We get the Solidus reference. We get some stuff about Raiden's past, some of the things he had to do. I can't believe people... I mean, I get why. I know why. I'm not going to say why. You know why. But there's a certain group of Metal Gear fans who consider this game non-canon, and I'm like, are you serious? It's right there, brother. It's right there.
Boris, I want to check how raising the codec encryption level affects transmission.
Copy. Reading you 5, Raiden. You?
Loud and clear. I'm seeing a reduction in peak power when sending. We're on a broader
And
direct
even
sequence
stuff
spread
like this,
spectrum?
it is so Metal Gear. It's like, what?
Frequency
What?
hopping
Why are
pattern
we?
changed to blue 1.
What does this mean?
Copy.
Who cares?
Interference
It's
still
awesome.
appears below process gain, too. Hell of a system. Worth every dollar. What is your processing load?
I pinged HQ data storage with my tactical data line. The increase in latency is below 5%.
Хорошо. In that
Хорошо,
case, it will not affect
ISALE.
mission. Our system is just one notch below toughest security available. Denver police cannot see we are even transmitting at all. All our communication is perfectly safe.
Copy that.
Okay, that should be it for now with the codec calls. We're going to get one more character we can call later on, and their calls are definitely worth it. There's some more Metal Gear lore that you can only get there, but I got most of them I wanted to. Now it's time for the action.